Starting today with a very difficult topic, actually. The wife of actor Bruce Willis, Emma Hemmings Willis, gave a very emotional interview on American television yesterday about her husband's struggle with dementia, admitting that it's hard to know if he's aware of what's actually happening to him.
It doesn't make it any less painful, but just being in the acceptance is... and just being in the know of what is happening to Bruce just makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah. Does he know what's going on? Is that something that he is aware of?
Hard to know. It's hard to know.
Yeah.
Well, I know, it's so difficult, isn't it? And so many of us on this panel, you in the audience, you at home, have, you know, experience, sadly, of someone we know and love with dementia. And I do remember with my dad, we didn't tell my dad he had dementia because actually by the time he got the official diagnosis, he was already, you know, quite well down the road, in our opinion. And I often wondered, did we make the right decision? But I know the only time that anybody ever said Alzheimer's to him, he and my mum had gone to their family solicitor because she had to sign a power of attorney. And he mentioned the word Alzheimer's. And my mum said she froze because she was like, oh, we've never said that to him. And she looked at my dad and he didn't flinch and they carried on signing. Oh, there he is, my lovely daddy. It's in his best jacket. And they were walking back to the car and he suddenly went, who's got Alzheimer's? And my mum was like, he went, I haven't got Alzheimer's, what's he talking about? And she went, oh, no, it's just, you know, sometimes you just get a bit forgetful. And she was all a bit of a dither, you know. So now we look back on this and go, what were we protecting him from? Why didn't we say? We knew so little about it. And I think people just struggle. They don't know what to say.
Well, we did try and tell my mum because we knew, really, even before a doctor actually confirmed it, we knew it was some form of dementia just because of the way she'd been acting for quite a while. But she absolutely would not accept it. She just wouldn't accept it. And we had to make this kind of appointment with the doctor. And we said to him, look, we'll come with her, but you're going to have to tell her because maybe she'll accept it from a professional. And when he asked her all these questions that they do, and she didn't get any of them right, but her answer to it was, how am I supposed to... I don't know who the Prime Minister is. I don't read the news. I don't... You know, I'm 70 this, 70 that. And then she didn't know what year it was, but she made excuses, and she fought it all the way. And even when the doctor told her, she just never accepted it, ever.
Would you want to know?
I'd like to think, while I'm fluid of mind, that I would want to know because then I can put my papers and my affairs and stuff in order. And, you know, I saw a film and it was like, you know, you get up and you'd put Post-it notes and things to try and help you remember. I don't know if, you know, I obviously don't know.
I think, Janet, as well, so many people who are much younger, sadly, being diagnosed with dementia. I mean, Fiona Phillips, who very recently, you know, went very public with her dementia, Alzheimer's diagnosis, and she's clearly aware of what's happening. Yeah, it's just you wonder how long, at what point that maybe changes.
Yeah, and this week it was announced that Ken Livingstone has got dementia, and I've done quite a few TV shows with Ken, and now I'm feeling it's like really, you know, people that I work quite closely with, and it's something you think about every day, and obviously we all do crosswords and Scrabble and everything else, and it's the last thing you want to happen to you, but do you know if it is happening to you? How do you tell? Yeah. And then at the weekend, I read this astonishing interview with the actor Timothy West, who's one of our, you know, most revered actors, who's been very happily married to the actress Prunella Scales, you know, forever. And in the interview, he said that she was started being very forgetful in 2001, and then he noticed she'd changed even more by 2003, but they didn't get a diagnosis that she had dementia till 2013. And, you know, she's still living with him and he is her carer. And in the interview, he, you know, I think, gave some insight into how challenging it is to live with someone who can't remember
it's
a
so hard.
thing.
I mean, my mum looked after my dad for 11 years at home, and actually it was only my sister and I who said, Mum, because it was making her ill, actually, towards the end. Bruce Willis's wife also talked about, you know, the stigma sometimes surrounding dementia, and she said she thinks it's important that we tell people, not necessarily the person with the dementia, but tell everybody else. And she said it was important that we let our girls know. I don't want there to be any stigma or shame attached to their dad's diagnosis. And we were talking this morning, weren't you and I, saying it wasn't that I was ashamed of my dad, but sometimes people with dementia can lose their filter. And I remember being out in kind of cafes and things, and sometimes he would say quite inappropriate things. And you could see people looking, and it's because you want to protect them. You want to kind of scream and go, honestly, this isn't what he's like. He didn't mean that. So I think sometimes it is good to tell people.
Oh, I'm
so
telling
that they
you now,
know.
if I get diagnosed, like you were saying, you would like to know. I definitely don't want to know because it would probably ruin the rest of my life, the worry of it. But if I'm ever, you know, touch wood, it won't happen, but if I do ever get it, I want a T-shirt saying I have dementia or I have Alzheimer's, because I've done it myself where someone's reacted in the street, and I've gone to, it happened recently, and I went to go back at this lady because she was so rude to somebody that was serving, really rude, and just as I went back to her, the woman with her, she was going, what did he say, what did he say? And this lady with her said, oh, it's OK, he wasn't talking to you. And straight away I thought, oh, she's got dementia. So I pulled back. And I thought, it's a shame, because I would have walked away going, that lady was so rude. And actually, she wasn't at all.
But, Coleen, if you put dementia sufferers in T-shirts that say, I've got dementia, aren't you kind of objectifying them? Aren't you, like, demeaning them?
No, I just want people to know. If I act like... My mum was rude. She got the form that was very angry. She never accepted it. And she would literally see women or something in the street and go, what are you looking at, and why have you dressed like that? And I'm like...
David Baddiel came on here.
And then you feel bad running up to them in front of your mum and going, she's got dementia. For some woman that doesn't believe she's got dementia, then she'd kick off, and it was just this minefield of trying to know the right thing to do.
I think there are so many disabilities now that cannot be seen. It's just, for me, it's a shame that if... And apart from your family, of course, I think the family... that you're around all the time, it is a good thing for them to be informed so that they know how to handle the situation. But I just think it's a shame as a society that we can't acknowledge that there are disabilities that cannot be seen, and you should just let that person, you know,
there is
have their space.
There is NHS guidance on how, if you feel that you need to tell a loved one, look, you know, you have got dementia or Alzheimer's, they said pick a place that's familiar for them, find a quiet time where you won't be rushed or disturbed, use reassuring and non-judgmental language, start the conversation, this is interesting actually, start the conversation by gently asking the person if they've noticed any changes about themselves recently, are they struggling, and then say, show that you're only raising concerns because you care about them. Be positive, say we can talk to the GP, and make sure you listen to how they respond, because this, you telling them this might come as a surprise. It's very, very, very difficult. There is a lot of help out there. Actually, I'm doing the Alzheimer's Memory Walk on Sunday, which I do every year. So